Hello my wonderful friends, Magus, and today I want to talk about deja vu, that feeling that you have when I've seen this before, I've experienced this before. What is that? And more importantly, how can you control that? First, you have to realize that manifestation is just a thought. Everything that we consider physical reality once was nothing more than just a thought. When you're standing in your now, contrasting experiences give rise to desire for different things. For instance, if you are in slavery, you will have a strong desire for freedom. You will vibrate that want, that desire for freedom, and that desire prepaves the way for what's coming. Then source energy gets behind it and creates that. What we vibrate, we create. Okay, it's the word, the logos, the vibration that we hold is coming to us. Now back to deja vu. How do we create that deja vu? We know what it is. How do we create that? A good example that I have is when I was getting my captain's license and I was in school, and I've always been a daydreamer, and I was daydreaming about one day having my own boat and my own business. And my teacher, Sweet Jensen, great old guy, he was in his 80s, just a wonderful teacher, and just loved the guy. And I dreamed that he would be on the boat one day with me, and I'm showing him, look, I got my own boat and I got my own business, and then explaining to the people on the boat, oh, this was my teacher, you know, and I just played it all through my mind. And sure enough, many years later, I had a burial at sea business with my own boat, and the people didn't want to be picked up at my usual dock. They wanted me to pick them up at this old sailor bar where all the old captains hung out. So I said, no problem. And so I pulled up there, and here comes these people with Sweet Jensen, my old teacher. And we're sitting up on the flying bridge heading out, and they're telling me how they ran into this old guy at the bar sitting there and kicked up a conversation, and he was so interesting that they invited him out for their burial at sea. And then I am telling them the story of, well, this was my teacher that I got my captain's license from, and boom, deja vu. I mean, I've said these words before, I've lived this out before, and it all started with an imagination in my mind with no resistance. It's so important that when you're imagining and dreaming and believing that there's no resistance, because as I've taught you before, you have to have reason to work in magic and miracles. And I could easily reason out one day, you know, steps. It's so important to have steps. 1, I get my captain's license. 2, I eventually get a boat. 3, I eventually get a business. And 4, somehow Sweet Jensen gets on the boat. And there it is. They just happened to be at a bar where they ran into Sweet Jensen. They fell in love with him like everyone did. And they invited him out, and it took place. And so it's important that you put steps in your life. If you want to, say, be a doctor, you want to think of, well, what's my first step? Don't just sit around and only daydream. Take the steps that you get from intuition. Source, God knows how to get you to where you want to be, the easiest route. So you always in your meditations listening to God and taking throughout the day just different steps that you're feeling led to do. So if you wanted to be a doctor, your first step might be to go to school and then listen to God. Okay, what's my next step? Make a friendship with these people, or whatever it might be. And just dream about and feel what it would be like to be in that position you want to be. Think of the conversations you would have, like I did on the boat, and you will be amazed. You'll start creating deja vu in your life, and it's fun when you start doing it. And I call that ruling the air. You're creating your own destiny instead of living someone else's ideas and thoughts. You create your own with God, and there's nothing more beautiful than that. So today, for your homework, I want you to just start dreaming just things that you want and desires. Maybe it's just a happy home. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's a position. Maybe it's a dream that you've held since you were a child. And start just listening for God to give you directions and steps. And now I don't want you to think that that's the only way to manifest things in your life. I love sharing some of these different stories with you. Sometimes it's wise just to say, all things are possible with God, and let Him surprise you. Good story about that. Probably 20 years ago, went to church and I gave all the money I had left in my pocket that day into the plate. And then afterwards, me and the family went to the beach, and I realized we're having a great time, but then I realized, the meter's running out in a parking lot. We're going to have to leave. And I remember just thinking, we're having such a good day and the kids are having fun, and didn't want to leave. And I just told God, I put all my money in a plate. I'd love to stay longer and stuff. And I kid you not, I felt like pressure on my leg. I looked down. There's a $20 bill sitting on my leg, praise God. And so it's good to always, like I said, take the steps, work, dream, but also sometimes just leave it up to good spirit. God, I know you love me. You're a loving Father, and anything's possible with you. Surprise me with any good thing. Good things are always working out for me, and hold that attitude and vibration too.